Right, hi guys, it's countdown to Christmas and a little bit of a small workshop walk this weekend. We've got some other videos, so if you are subscribed to us, you'll see some other different things like test drives and a little competition that we're going to be running over the festive season. But we'll kick off here with the S2000. I showed you last week a bit of it. It's all pretty much, well, not pretty much, it is done, ready for IVA. So this was meant to be going this week. Unfortunately, IVA cancelled on us because their emissions machine broke, which was a little bit frustrating because it's about the second or third time that's happened this year, and it's a little bit frustrating. But it's all buttoned up, ready to go, really nicely detailed, interior's done. Don't forget things like your quick release boss has to have a collapsible section in there, all the lights all buttoned up to IVA levels and standards, and that's all done. Car runs, drive. We've done the emissions this week as well. Myself and Joseph, well, Joseph was on the laptop and we're sort of progressing with that. This is on a OMX 710 ECU, this particular one. Right away through, these are on for IVA that we put on for the wing mirrors to meet the heights and requirements, because it's going to have a windscreen at some point on here as well. Later on, not now, but later on. Still got to have a carbon stripe. It's going to have a carbon stripe, but we can do that at some point. Two little buttons here. When we change, we're going to have some heated seat elements in here as well. These are already pre-installed nicely. And then on the front, we are going to be doing some other things. So this is why the headlights are here to meet the requirements for IVA. It has to be 400mm width, and same as the indicators, 400mm. So we've made those up. Under the engine bay, pretty tidy under here, nice and clean as you'd expect, and all buttoned up, all nicely running for emissions. Making sure your battery's nice and secure and covered. Make sure the terminal's got a protective cover on it, and all the wiring, cabling and all that side of things all neat and tidy. 300mm maximum width for retainers on your cabling and wiring and brake lines and fuel lines, all of that sort of thing. So basically, if you can do that and you can touch it more or less, you know you're pretty good. Things like down in here, we've got the brake reservoir pots. These have got low level warning light indicators, and that must light up on the dashboard somewhere on there to inform you. And then on this side, it's got the really nice carbon silencer, and there's a couple of little things like sharp edges that you have to make sure it doesn't impact, like the lambda sense here. We just put some trim around it temporarily here. It's permanent really, to be honest with you, because it's got a metal cable tie on it, but that needs to make sure, because otherwise that's a sharp edge. So the S2000 car's all buttoned up, all geoed, four-wheel alignment done on it as well. So she's buttoned up, ready to go for the new year now. A little bit frustrating, we're trying to get this one over the line before Christmas, the last one of the year, but what can you do if they cancel it on you? Bit frustrating, but it should be ready to go in January, ready for 2025 season. Right, next up, it's a very short introduction because we're doing a separate video on this one, which is the new RX-5 demo car, which is the 1.8 Mazda engine running gear car, single dome vehicle. Little thing here that we're making, we'll explain a bit more. Nice little cold air intake box that Josie's been making up. We're going to hopefully see if that does some improvements. And then the double aero screen, which is just literally drilling now, literally as we speak. Double clear perspex aero screen deflector, whichever you want to call it. We do a single one like this for the Cup 200 cars, and then we do a double one now for on the road if you've got passengers a lot of the time. And they all follow the same fitment of hole, so yeah, that's going to look, and it do work really well. So we do a separate video on that, but she's coming along quite nicely. It's going to be in its four corners, very short in and geoed, and a few other bits, and buttoning this up, ready for 2025. Right, next up, we've been on with the orange Hayabusa build, because we've been getting looms and that made for this, because it was going originally on Gen 2 throttle bodies, but now it's going on to Gen 3 drive-by-wire. So these all been nicely done. We worked with RLM on this, and the adapters all nicely machined. New billet fuel rail in there. Nice little touch, and a change of the injector size, because normally it has a secondary air injector in the airbox. It's a single injector now, so these will be going on nicely in that area there, so it sits under the flat bonnet. These have all been assembled, pre-assembled, done, ready to go on, so they're next to go on. All the loom, which is here, this has all been made and done, going into the Life ECU, and it's going to have wireless hand controls, and we've got the engine harness already done as well. So that's the engine harness section for a Life. That's got the hairbrush section on it for the Life, and then this is your chassis harness all made, with every terminal. It's all nicely labelled up. There we go, battery, what we got, a transponder if you're having one, wheel speed sensors, all nicely labelled for you. So that will go in to the chassis and everything else, and it all going to hook up to this, the very nice AIM dashboard. So it's 1.3 Strada. It's a lovely bit of kit, really nice actually. It looks really smart in the car, but also gives you a nice clear vision, and you can customise the display. So been on with that, and bulkhead fitting's been done. All the oil lines have been made up, so we've got the 180 degree with the AN10 fittings. All the oil lines have been made up. Been running in cables now for headlights, indicators and wiring, running those on ready to connect into the loom. Seats have all been dry fitted into here as well. They've been done. Gear lever system and a battery and a battery mount bracket have all been mounted this week, and then starting for 2025 it will be hard onto this car, making it, well, as quickly as possible, building it so we can get it out to Japan. It's going out to Japan, so Yoshifumi out there, this will be arriving with you very, very soon. Next up, before we shut out, I just want to talk about a couple of events that are coming up in 2025. First of all, kicking off the year very early on, we'll be exhibiting the Cup 200 car at the Auto Sport show in Birmingham NEC. This should be there. Probably see one of us guys kicking around with it as well. We'll be in conjunction with the 750 Motor Club. So yeah, you'll be able to see, come and look at a Cup 200, talk about cars, talk about racing and everything else. That's from the 9th to the 12th of January. It's a 4-day event. I think it's a Traders Day on the Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday and Sunday is like the Customers Days. I think they do like a indoor arena thing as well, which is pretty cool to watch. So we'll be there with this, and then running into that, the 1st of February I think it is, we're going to have a first of the open days coming up, and we're going to have quite a bit of a sale going on, because we're going to have some parts here, and we're going to have a big old warehouse clearance here, and we're going to lay it all out there for you to buy. So there'll be some real bargains probably to pick up as well. So that'll be the 1st of February, and then we run on to Race Retro. Now that starts in February again, so it'll be the end of February near enough, 21st to the 23rd. So January and February pretty much, Autosport. Got open day in February, and 1st of February, and then the 21st to the 23rd we'll be at Race Retro exhibiting a couple of cars there as well. So that shows up the first 2 months of the year already. So if you want to get involved with one of these cars, building them, factory built car, or buying a second hand one, we've still got a couple of cars here. Got the R1 and the DAX with a booster turbo in there. Sorry, not booster turbo, just a booster in jet, but you could turbo it, I suppose, if you want to. Then you hook us up, phone call, email, or come and see it at the factory. Well, I want to wrap it up and say thanks guys for a fabulous 2024. Thanks to all the customers, all the people that come and see us here, all the people that purchase the cars, the parts, everything else, to the great team here at MK Sportscars who help service you guys out there. So have a great Christmas and a happy new year, and from everyone here at MK Sportscars, happy 2024-25 guys.